Gaming Show, episode 13, and the first episode we are doing live. It's not the way that we wanted it. It's not where we wanted it to be right now. We're over on twitch.tv/ johnsquaredgaming show. But yeah, follow us on our Twitter, and we don't have an Instagram yet. Follow us on Twitter to keep up to date with where we are streaming officially going forward. It'll most likely be YouTube, but who knows?
Hopefully.
Yeah, awful intro. John, how you doing tonight?
Doing all right. I was looking at the screen here. I'm looking at this screen, but also this one, and I'm noticing now the contrast between my beard and my hair. And that's upsetting to me because it means that this is going pure white.
Yeah, I don't know if I think your lighting on your computer doesn't do you any favors, but it looks better.
Right.
It looks
better. If it's light, you can see how ugly I am. I can't have that
on. Currently, I can't see chat just yet.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do on my phone over here. That's why I'm not looking.
We are not prepared.
Not at all, but good news is I have 20,000 channel points from watching your stream, so I can make, I think just technically you do things that I want during the podcast.
That is false. We
this
will
is
not
this is gonna be a fun game.
We will absolutely not be doing any of those today because we got some gaming news and stuff to talk about. Like the chip shortages, an update on that, Call of Duty Vanguard reveal, Horizon Forbidden West upgrade controversy, and we got a PlayStation showcase tomorrow. Very excited about that. But before we get into that, I just want to say a huge shout out to everyone who is listening to us for the 13th week in a row, or even just for the first time. Welcome. If you like the show, if you want to support us in any way, the best way to do that right now is to like and sub to the YouTube channel, or leave a review on your favorite podcast service, unless your favorite podcast service is not Spotify, Apple, or Google, which in that case, stop. You're not cool for using a different podcast service.
I don't even know the names of any of the other ones, quite honestly.
They're like weird. Like there's probably dozens of people using them. Not even, I don't know. I don't know why anyone would use any. I don't know what features Spotify and Apple don't have that you need, but so John.
Yeah.
November of 2020, we saw the launch of the PlayStation 5, the Xbox Series X, the Xbox Series S, and NVIDIA's 30 series graphics cards. It was very difficult to get your hands on one, still is. And if you planned on getting your hands on one anytime soon, I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
It
ain't ending anytime soon. So I'm pulling from Wesley LeBlanc at IGN. It says the chip shortage affecting gaming will remain very tight until at least next September.
Nice.
So,
full year from now. That's great.
Right. The chip shortage currently affecting all parts of gaming is not likely to let up until the end of next year, according to Toshiba. In a new report from Bloomberg, the publication writes that Toshiba Corp one of the major companies that creates power-regulating chips found in graphics cards, gaming consoles, and more, says the chip shortage will likely continue through the end of 2022. Oh, that sucks.
How?
Yeah, this is going on way longer than I thought it was going to.
I mean, the thing is, like, I don't know. More and more are coming out. Like they're becoming more. Not that they're like readily available. You can just go pick one up, but like they're more available now. I don't understand how the shortage is still that bad.
Yeah. I don't know what that looks like, what implications COVID had on all of this, but um, really unfortunate. And if it just reminds me how lucky we are to have what we do have,
Yeah.
like all of our friend group owning PS5s and stuff, and realizing how uncommon that actually is.
I mean,
Uh, yeah, go ahead.
I just I don't get how because they did shut production down for a little bit because they had to, obviously. Like they've been since they've gone back, which I'm assuming was like last probably May or June.
Um,
It's been like nonstop since. How are you still so behind?
right. I think it's other countries and their um like I don't know where these are even manufactured, but I'm assuming it has to do with their production and stuff like that. And I think that they, like a lot of other countries, closed down like way more than the United States did. Um, but
No, they
I'm no expert.
smarter than us.
Right. Um, so yeah. Whoops. Um, yeah, this is a mess, but we're rolling with it. Next
This
up,
is fun. It's been fun though.
next up we have Call of Duty Vanguard multiplayer review. Before we talk about anything Call of Duty related, I just want to remind everybody that Activision Blizzard, who is publishing Call of Duty, is still in the middle of being sued for alleged sexual misconduct. And we will continue talking about that
Also,
until
destroyed the evidence of that misconduct. So, uh, not trying to put any narratives out there, but they are pieces of shit, allegedly.
allegedly. Anyways, the Vanguard multiplayer reveal was on Tuesday, September 7th. I'm pulling this from Nathan Warby at Charlie Intel. Charlie Intel is like a basically first person shooter esport news website. So it says Call of Duty Vanguard multiplayer review trailer shows off insane gameplay and features. Activision is starting to place the upcoming Call of Duty Vanguard front and center, and fans are getting their first glimpses at eagerly awaited eagerly awaited new game. In the Battle of Verdansk, Vanguard was officially revealed to the world, with the first campaign gameplay and news of the open beta following shortly after. The main highlight of the Vanguard reveal was the trailer shown off gave the Call of Duty community the first extensive look at the kind of intense action they can expect to experience when they jump in later this year. As with any Call of Duty trailer, there were plenty of action for viewers to enjoy in multiplayer reveal trailer. From showing destructible environments, which is really cool. They obviously that's something the Battlefield does regularly. But that's like the thing that stuck out the most to me was the destructible environments, giving players an extensive look at various weapons in action, and there is no doubt that the level of excitement for the next entry in the fan favorite franchise, is now at an all-time high. John, did you watch this?
I watched some of it, um, and it looked like Call of Duty multiplayer to me. I didn't. I listened to an IGN review of like because they got to test the game out, the
Yeah,
multiplayer out, and I guess the destructible environments are like they don't they work in not Call of Duty games because of how fast paced it is. Uh, but I don't know, man. I don't know what to think of it. I don't. It's to me, it's just Call of Duty multiplayer in a different setting.
Yeah, I so like that was my expectation going into this, but honestly, I think so where I think I would use destructible environments, and it's not like everything is destructible, it's like glass, like specific things that are able to be destroyed. But if like someone's being a little rat fuck camping in the same they camp and then even if they get killed they run back to the same spot, if you're able to like take that thing out, they're not able to keep going back there, so it adds another layer, I think, and that's what's exciting to
From what I
me.
heard, only specific things are destructible. It's not like the entire map is destructible. There's certain like
Yeah,
environments. So it's not going to stop campers. It's just going to stop them from that one spot.
well, we don't know like specifically, but what I'm saying is like um I would think that they have that in mind because that's like the one way to combat campers in Battlefield. I think they would. The developers of Call of Duty are probably thinking, this is if this is a spot people might camp a lot. Let's make this like destructible. Let's make this like you could blow this shit up. But yeah, who knows? I am at least excited to see a little bit more of this game. I think at first I was all the way out on World War II, and the more I see of it, the more I think I am in.
And the only thing I am interested in, I'm not even interested. Zombies is only coming out with one map, and that's the thing I love most about Call of Duty. So that's not worth the money. Campaign looks interesting, but I don't know if it's compelling enough to make me spend $70.
Is that
Um,
confirmed that they're only doing one map for the whole thing, or is it like they're
Not the
gonna?
whole thing at launch. It's only gonna have one
Oh,
map,
okay, yeah, I think that's kind of normal or typical. Um,
I
I
guess.
I so going into Cold War, I was really excited for zombies, and I thought it was good. I thought it was fun to play, but the other ones that they ended up putting out really fell flat to me, and I did. I mean, to be fair, I didn't give it a an honest like fair shake. Like I played a couple rounds, but I didn't like try to dive into all of the extra stuff because I was more interested in like multiplayer and stuff. But uh yeah,
Outbreak was a really interesting. I really liked Outbreak. I thought that was a fun thing.
yeah, and that's like what I only played that a few rounds and it
Yeah.
wasn't really I didn't enjoy it at least, but yeah, I'd be willing to like check out this zombies map.
So
Um
my other thing is, I have they said how big the file size is?
yes. It is. I'm pretty sure it's here. Go ahead, and I'll look that up.
Well, my thought is, if you have Warzone,
Right.
if you keep Cold War, which some people will, and you have this, that's probably more space than a brand new Series X or PS5 have.
It is for sure more than a Series S. That would be a huge issue for if your only console was an Xbox Series S.
And not even that, if you take get rid of Cold War, so it's just Warzone and this, that's still like what, pushing on 400 gigs.
Um. Yeah. So it looks like as of August 20th. This is from Game Rant. On Xbox Series X/S, it is listed at a 95 gigabyte download. That is without a patch, and that's without Warzone. Um, to me, 95 gigabytes would work if it included Warzone. But the fact that Warzone is another 100 gigabytes, when they're using most of the same assets, that's a little much for me.
That's There are a lot of things stacked against this for me. And I feel like I'm just shitting on it at this point, but it's like there's so much against it that I can't even I can't begin to justify it in my head.
Sure. We have Matt Bullard in the chat. Says Cold War Zombies was strong, then died out after a while, but it was cool how they kept you playing, upgrading your character. And then
Yeah.
Buck Townsend in the chat says, yeah, Zombies has to be updated a lot more to keep my interest. And that's kind of what that's the same general
See,
idea that I
my
had.
my whole thing, and this isn't, it's more so for the sake of argument than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
Warzone's the exact same thing, is it not? They've done barely any updates. It's the same sort of players in every round. I mean,
Sure.
it's no different except for you can die in Warzone and zombies. You can go for a decent amount of time.
I think it's the competitive aspect. Obviously, that's the
Yeah, those
biggest
kids are a bunch
difference.
of fucking cowards. They don't leave their fucking parents' house. Just sit
Um,
here all day, just fucking.
so we had Buck Townsend saying, I actually thought this multiplayer for Vanguard looked like a new twist on multiplayer. It didn't look like normal COD. I mostly agree. I really did. I like I said, I was out on World War II. Once they announced that that's what they were doing, I was like, I'm good. I'm not interested. But the more they show, the more I think it looks cooler and cooler. Shout out to Matt and Buck in the chat for stopping by. Love you boys. Um,
Appreciate you.
Speaking of Warzone, they also announced
Uh,
that they are finally releasing a new map. Not a reskin, not a let's go back in time.
Amen. They're
It is
releasing
a
Far Cry 3.
so they showed a little teaser of they're going to the Pacific. It's a brand new map, and they just said that it's coming out later this year. They don't have a hard release date. I'm assuming it's going to be within the same timeline of Vanguard. I will because what it is looking like is Vanguard is going to be like that engine is going to be used, or I think it's going to be the same engine in Vanguard as it is in Warzone because Vanguard is using um, Modern Warfare's engine. I think so. I don't think there'll be
So
any major changes like that.
this map that's coming out with Vanguard was supposed to come out uh, with the reskin of Verdansk. They changed it last minute. This was the map that was supposed to come out then when they were teasing this big giant, Warzone's done as you know it. It was supposed to go to this, and then I don't know what happened. They backed out. So this could very well be using the whatever they used to build Cold War, and not Vanguard.
I I don't think so, but I because I don't think they would go back. I think they like it makes more sense to
I
have it being like all like as one.
It's hard to talk about this without just showing my bias. I don't have that much faith in them. I could see them saying, "You idiots are going to pay and give us money anyways." So what does it matter?
Yeah, I look at that and I show like sympathy and I show like understanding with like COVID and stuff. So I generally tend to think that
I
that's
mean, yeah,
what.
they did spend a lot of their development time harassing women,
Oh, there you go.
allegedly.
Yeah, you can't say for sure, right? Um, that obviously you're just being
Yeah.
facetious, but because the people who developed this game are the ones that are like working hard, it's the allegedly shitty leadership that are the ones that are responsible allegedly. But yeah, and then you added this. I wanted to be able to show this TikTok, but there was a TikTok
Oh,
of a kid. Yeah, you explain it. You added it.
this
So
kid, he was it that he. Fuck, I'm the one that sent that. I can't even fucking remember what I sent. Um, he called out a historical inaccuracy with one of the, I think it was a red dot scope
yeah, red dot
that's
sight.
coming out in World War II, and uh, who's the Sledgehammer, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, they responded by basically saying, well, this isn't meant to be 100% accurate to the time period and blah blah blah, and then they banned his account.
that's I obviously like we don't have any like full on details. But the fact that they like went out of their way to fight this guy.
Dude, they responded to his call out as a joke. He was just fucking with them. They responded to it and then said, you know what? Fuck this kid. He's never getting us again. And this comes days after they promoted someone who showed that he was hacking their game for months.
Right.
Like, it's so fucking stupid.
We have Cringe McEat Pants in the chat saying, I agree with John R. I just want to hate everything COD, and that's fair. You know,
Amen.
everyone is entitled to their, like, the way they think they should handle the whole lawsuit situation, and no one is to tell anybody otherwise, you know, unless you're
Except
like,
for me and Cringe McEady Pants, who are correct in this situation. We
unless
have the right opinions.
unless you are making an excuse or excusing the people who are abusing, then you're wrong and you can go fuck yourself. Um,
Amen.
the amount of people on Twitter that and like Reddit that I would see just say, "Who cares? I'm buying the game anyways." Like you can be a little rat fuck like that, but like just do it in private, I guess.
Dude, and that's my issue is like, why are you gonna buy it? What have they done to make you want to buy it? To those people who are just doing it to be like, hey, fuck you guys, we're gonna spend money on it anyways.
I don't know.
I don't.
It's almost
If
like
this isn't,
I'm edgy, so you know I don't care.
yeah,
I play my
I need.
games and yeah, whatever.
We gotta stop talking about Call of Duty on this show.
Well, we have a little bit more, you
Fuck.
know, potential. Well, so this one is going to be really interesting for me because I've gone back and forth and I still don't have a solid place. I haven't like planted my flag on either side. But so the Horizon Forbidden West pre-orders were announced
Oh,
last week, and initially the only way to pre-order um, or to upgrade the PS4 to PS5 edition was to buy a $80, I believe, special edition. That would give you both PS4 and PS5 upgrades. When last year Jim Ryan said that all launch games are going to have free upgrade paths from PS4 to PS5. And this was included in that the launch title or the launch window, obviously with COVID and that affecting development and stuff, that was pushed into next year so that it no longer the launch window. I would consider a launch window like 9 months. I don't know where I get that from in my head. It's like if it,
yeah.
you know,
I think not 9 to 12, so 9 months to a year.
yeah, so obviously this was pushed out, but that was like he said Horizon Forbidden West or the next Horizon or whatever, saying that it was going to be a free upgrade. And it makes more sense because all of the people making that jump from PS4 to PS5, you know, like if you couldn't get Miles Morales on, or if you couldn't get a PS5 but you wanted to play Miles Morales at launch, you buy it on PS4, you should be entitled to that PS5 version. If you bought the PS5 a month later, that would be kind of fucked up if they made you buy it again.
This
Yeah,
is
go
where
ahead.
I start to fall off, I guess. I think there's a certain amount of time, uh, like the 9 months, where if you have to, are you done with the story? I don't think so, because I
No,
think
no,
my
no.
point.
Oh, do you want me
Yeah,
to finish this?
yeah, because I think my point plays into that.
Okay, this is from the PlayStation blog. It says Thursday was to be a celebration of Horizon Forbidden West and the amazing team at Guerrilla working to deliver it on February 18th, 2022. I put a week off from work the following week for that game. That's how fucking excited I am for this. And hold on, I'll get it after. However, it is abundantly clear that the offerings we confirmed at the pre-order kickoff missed the mark. Last year, we made a commitment to deliver free upgrades for our cross-gen launch titles, which included Horizon Forbidden West. While the pandemic's profound impact pushed Forbidden West out of the launch window we initially envisioned, we will stand by our offer. Players who purchase Horizon Forbidden West on PlayStation 4 will be able to upgrade to the PlayStation 5 version for free. I also want to confirm today that moving forward, PlayStation first party exclusive cross gen titles, newly released on PS4 and PS5, both digital and physical, will offer a $10 US beans digital upgrade, US dollar digital upgrade option from PS4 to PS5. This will apply to the next God of War, Gran Turismo 7, and any other exclusive cross-gen PS4 and PS5 title published by Sony Interactive Entertainment. And this was from Jim Ryan, President and CEO of Sony. John, the floor is yours.
Oh boy, here we go. I don't know if I don't understand it or not. When I saw the outrage, it didn't make sense to me. Because in my head, it's like, well, yeah, if you bought a copy of a game, and then you didn't get a PS5 until, like, say, a year after you bought that game, would it not make sense to then buy that game again? Why should you get a free upgrade?
You mean to pay the $10, not completely buy like a $70 game?
Well, yeah. But at that point, was it not that, like, they're not getting any sort of upgrade? It's just you have to buy the game again for PS5. Wasn't that part of the whole thing?
Initially, this was if you just bought the $60 PS4 version of this game, you would have to then buy you have to pay $70 for the PS5 version.
Right. Which, like, that, and that's what I'm not getting, because if they don't expect PS5s to be available widely for at least another year, so this is going to come out, and then should you not have to buy the game again for a new console? If I buy a game on Xbox and then I buy a PlayStation, should I not have to buy the game again? I should just be able to transfer that? No.
Well,
because that's not how it works.
I think that's a little different. The Xbox, the PlayStation. It's like
my whole thing is, it is two different generations, but it's two different consoles. So would you not buy two different versions of the game? I'm sorry, I keep talking over you.
No, go ahead. I do it all the time, so go ahead.
But, like, I don't, and it's not me, like, saying one way is right, one way is wrong. I just don't understand it, I guess. Like, because there was a lot of outrage. There was a ton of outrage.
Yeah.
And that's what I didn't understand, because to me it kind of made sense.
It was definitely enough outrage for them to change it, because they addressed it and changed it. But what I was trying to say is I'm genuinely shocked that you took this side, because I go back and forth. Yeah. I really do. So initially, I thought this is really shitty. And I made a tweet on the John Squared Gaming Show Twitter account saying that the first upgrade path, where it was you're buying an $80 version of this game, or like you're not, and I believe it was that. I'm almost positive that was the cheapest way to get both versions. For someone to at first, if you have a PS4 and you plan on getting a PS5 as soon as you can, it's not their fault that they can't buy one right now. There's plenty of people who have $600 ready to buy a PS5 but just cannot get one. For them to be forced to kind of give money for a potential buy and they don't know when, I think that's shitty corporate practice. Like, I think that was just very anti-consumer. Obviously that they fixed it. They went back. They said, you're right. We said we were giving this the upgrade for free. So we're going to be true to our word. But then I'm going back and forth on the $10 going forward on the $10 upgrade fee.
That I can see. That makes sense to me. I think that is the middle ground here.
Yeah.
Because it's not, I mean, the corporations are going to be the corporations, right? They're going to try to make their money. This is why it didn't make sense to me. And I'm not in one camp or the other. This is genuinely me talking through it in my head. so I can try to understand it better.
Yeah, well, like I've been kind of going since they announced this, since the blog came out
Yeah. Well,
the other
this
day. I've
is,
been going back and forth.
and I didn't know about the $80 thing originally, quite honestly, where you pay $80, you get both versions.
Yeah,
That also kind of makes sense. But like the they're gonna lose so much money on the separation of sales that they were expecting that I think it's gonna come back to bite consumers in the ass in the long run. Because I think they're gonna. I don't trust them to just say, okay, I guess we're gonna do this, and someone not get screwed over.
that's fair. We have Doodoo
It's
Daddy in the chat. Corporate bleeped out, John.
all right. Let's relax here. Okay.
um, yeah.
If everyone here knows that I am fully on board with communism.
let's not go there. I yeah. So the question I'm a fucking weirdo, and when I'm driving in my car by myself, I'm like, um, I'll pose questions to myself, and I'm like,
Motherfucker thinks he's Socrates in the car.
I'm video game Socrates. Um, I thought if Xbox did not offer smart delivery, for those who don't know, smart delivery is you buy any Xbox game on any Xbox platform, and it is on every version. Like it'll play the most optimized version on whatever Xbox you have. So if you bought a game on the Xbox 360, it carries over to now. If you bought digitally, obviously, actually, and I think if you have the disc and the Series X, it's still, if there's a patch for it, downloads the patch and plays the best version available, um, and it's all free. And so I was thinking to myself, like, are people only mad at this because they see Xbox offering the same thing for free? Would there still be outrage if Xbox was charging $10 for like next gen versions?
So this plays back into like the outrage I saw. A lot of it, there was some genuine outrage. There were a lot of Xbox people uh, who were throwing gasoline on the fire to
Sure,
try to make it worse.
sure.
And I don't think, I mean, console wars is fucking goofy ass shit, anyways. But
Yeah.
like, I, and this is why I'm conflicted. Yeah, that is fucked up. I guess in my head, it's just like I don't expect anything different from Sony.
Right, and this kind of goes back to when we were talking a couple weeks ago about them being complacent and them saying we can do this because everyone wants to play our games. Now, the other side of this, the when I go back and forth, there is legitimate development time going into making the next gen versions. I don't know shit about game development, but I know that you at least have to have people, you're paying people to make these
Two
versions of the
different
game.
versions. Yeah.
Whether it's just PS4 and then just enhanced, I don't know. I mean, there's that argument about
And
does having PS4 versions like hold back PS5 versions, stuff like that. That's another
well,
conversation to have, but
from what I've seen, they're doing basically two different versions of this and God of War. They're gonna run completely differently on each console. And that's why I'm saying eventually someone is gonna get screwed over because if they're only charging the 10 instead of the 70 they wanted to charge, I feel like it's gonna end up being the studios and developers that are getting fucked on the back end under this guise of being more consumer friendly
yeah.
when it's not
So
at all helpful.
yeah, for me, it's like I kind of when I bought into the PS5, I bought into the I have to pay $70 for first party games going forward.
Yeah.
That was that sucked, but I don't. is someone who like doesn't have to worry about this, I guess, where I don't have to worry about upgrading in the future. Um, it still is tough for me knowing I know people who have, and I know people who are in like such like I when I was younger, like I was never in this position to be able to buy a console like day one or anything like that, and like it just I feel like over the last couple years, gaming in general has been and gaming like the consumers have been kind of making their voices heard about like wanting to like promote more consumer friendly things, and Xbox has been like the front man for that in my opinion. And I think PlayStation's like, well, we can still charge for this stuff, and Nintendo's like, we can charge $60 for Wii games and we get away with it. So like until we can't get away with it, we're gonna keep doing it.
Well,
So
that's
go.
what I think. Like, if you want to put them in like the scale of like lawful stuff, so we're not lawful, but like if we're talking good, Xbox is lawful good, Sony's lawful neutral, and Nintendo is lawful evil.
That is very obvious bias speaking from you.
What are you talking about?
Doodoo Daddy says, I want to play these PlayStation exclusives on PC. I am all for that. We talked
That's
about last week on the Uncharted collection coming to PC. Um, I am all for.
I could see Horizon coming out on PC after a year of being in a Sony exclusive or a PlayStation exclusive. So from what I've seen, Sony's working closer with to whatever the developer is that's putting the shit on, or the company is that's putting the shit on PC. And I
Epic.
think they're sure. Is that who's doing it? I don't.
Go ahead. Just go ahead with what you're saying.
I don't know that shit. I don't do the research. I just show up here and say stuff. I I could see them trying to put games like that on PC because they're not doing anything else to compete with Xbox.
Sure.
And like Xbox has Game Pass for PC. I feel like this is their way um of trying to get more people to play their exclusives.
Yeah. I don't see them putting any PS5 titles on PC for like 2 years because the amount of obviously like we talked about earlier, the chip shortage is going well into like deep into 2022. I think they're still going to be counting on people who buy the PS5s and buying those games. I think that they're going to not want that to, and I don't know the stats on like how much like cross pollination there is between like PS5 or PlayStation owners and PC owners, but the more places, the more platforms that PS5 or PlayStation games are on, the better, in my opinion, because
Yeah.
I love doing this. I love talking about video games, and the more people who get to play, like the amount of people who have not been able to play Uncharted, uh,
Yeah.
like who are going to be able to do that, who own a PC, like that is sick to me. I can't, like, and that obviously hasn't been confirmed yet, but it seems like it's coming soon.
It'll be
And
confirmed tomorrow. I mean,
well, hold on, we'll talk about that in just a minute.
I feel like we've been going for like an hour and we've gotten through two stories.
I don't know how long
So
we've been.
I'm not used to this. Normally
Um,
we're on a regimented schedule.
Buck Townsend in the chat says John R about to lose it. First Call of Duty, then Nintendo. If you bring up battle royales, it'll put him over the top.
Son of a bitch!
Doodoo Daddy says I've never played Uncharted, Ghost of Tsushima, Last of Us, etc. Yeah, man. Oof. Like,
Big F's in the chat.
and for people who like get mad when PlayStation games are announced on PC, like you're honestly fucking weird.
Fucking clown.
Um,
Goofy ass.
just
These games should be on PC, especially the older games. Are you kidding me?
yeah. Um, I know they won't do it just because obviously the director's cut just came out. But even if they put Legends like Ghost of Tsushima Legends on PC, just like the multiplayer side. I don't know, a little taste of it. I want it. If like I were in charge of PlayStation today, I would put all games day one on on PC. And a few weeks ago, I just
Yeah,
burped. I did it again. Felt like I was gonna throw up a little bit there.
let's
Um,
go.
I a couple weeks ago, PlayStation bought a PC porting studio.
That's what I was talking about.
Oh, okay, yeah. So they purchased their own like studio to port games to PC,
Yeah.
and that's when we have like Days Gone, like which came out already, and there is. I mean, this isn't a PlayStation first party game, but and it was a news story that I added and I ended up deleting because I thought we were going to go too long. But Final Fantasy VII Remake has there was a listing for it on Epic Game Store for PC, so that is probably coming soon. But yeah, it just I agree with Doodoo Daddy. Put all this shit on PC. It's
Yeah.
better for. I just don't think that it's gonna cost that many sales. I don't or PlayStation sales. I don't see it.
What sales are there to have when you don't have the consoles?
Um, yeah, and even if that's like a PlayStation, their own launcher, so it's not on Steam, it's not on Epic Game Store. Like if you have to do it on a PlayStation launcher, um,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I just feel like it'd be really cool. Um, as you referred to earlier, tomorrow we are getting the PlayStation showcase. Um,
Man.
we are going to try to do a live reaction. We're going to try to stream it and have our reactions to that tomorrow. It'll probably be here just because we're not set up on YouTube just yet. But um,
If they
John,
announce a battle royale, we're gonna hit the trifecta, like Zach said.
yeah, it'd just be a really rough week for John R over here. Um, John, what are
Yeah.
your expectations for this? Not predictions just yet. Expectations and hype levels in general. What are you thinking?
Okay, so I am trying very hard not to get myself too worked up. I I don't know if you saw the leak that came out or if that's a news story. If I'm being honest with you, this is the first time I'm saying it. I didn't look at the Google Drive. I have no
Hmm.
idea what was in there. I'm just taking shots in the dark here. I figured it'd be more exciting in a live stream setting. Um, I there was a leak that came out for PS5 and they put all the bullshit. And it was, the stuff God of War and Horizon and
It
uh,
obviously is fake, but yeah.
some Kojima stuff, and then a PS5 Pro model. Shit that's obviously like, I'm expecting God of War. I'm not expecting gameplay. I'm expecting an actual teaser trailer with some sort of footage, even if it's just a little bit more. Oh boy, I can't say this without spoiling it, because I don't know if everyone in the chat's played all the way through it or they're going to.
Yeah,
Um,
let's save spoilers for.
yeah, so I don't know if they're just gonna play off some video stuff or what. I'm expecting more Horizon gameplay for sure, uh, and this is where I'm trying to tamper my expectations. We're coming up on the 20th year anniversary of um, Jack and Daxter, and I think the 25th of Crash Bandicoot.
Hmm.
And boy, oh boy, especially if they announce something for Jack and Daxter, I might actually lose it.
Yeah, I don't have any like nostalgia for that, but I would just be hyped simply for like you. I know how I know how hyped that would be for you, and I still obviously like I have to play those games.
Yeah,
Um I am full blown hype mode. I have done a really good job, in my opinion, of um like tempering expectations going into these. I am such, and you obviously know this, and people who know me know this. I'm a fucking sucker for hype. And whenever we have Nintendo Directs, E3 showcases, State of plays. I literally, it's like it's what gets me through the week. I get so fucking
Yeah.
excited about it. The reason why, and normally I do temper my expectations. I expect the worst so that I am not let down. Um,
Just fair.
this announcement, where PlayStation State of Plays in the past, they have been the ones to help set expectations. Where they will say, I believe in the last one, they said, we are not showing God of War. We are not showing PSVR 2 titles. We are not showing these things. We're not like, don't expect this. The just the feeling that like they did not set any expectations. They did not set any like they didn't preface this with anything. And just the tweet. They tweeted it was something like, you've been awfully patient. Like now it's time. It almost just feels like
Look, we're giving you what you want.
yeah, like it's time. It's like
They isn't it being branded as like the future of the PS5?
yeah, so it's titles coming later this year. 2022 I had to check what year it was. Just I literally me looking down at the that was I just
Oh,
had to check what fucking year we were in.
that's we're in 1994. Uh, it, Spider-Man 2. That's the other thing I want, and I want it very
Okay,
badly.
so if you had, I'm gonna give you, we'll do two, just to I don't want to put too much pressure on you. Two predictions, one like that you genuinely think is gonna happen, and one like wild card. What would those be?
God of War trailer is one I think is going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the wild card, I could see them. I could see them doing Spider-Man.
Really?
So, and my thought process is this: um, they have a window right now.
Mm-hmm.
All the hype is on No Way Home. There's like a slight bit of hope, or not hope, excitement about Venom, and all the rumors about the sequel to the Spider-Man game is that it's going to be uh, Peter in the Venom suit. So I could see them trying to cash in now with some sort of like, hey, we're making a game that has these two properties involved.
How much of Spider-Man 2 do you think we would see if we do see it?
Maybe just a teaser, like a real quick, like 45-second teaser. I don't think
Wow.
they're going to give us a full like trailer or anything. I don't think they have gameplay ready. I think it's just going to be a, hey, look at this thing we're working on. It's coming out in 2023.
Hmm. Yeah, for me, I think there's no fucking shot.
I'll go fuck myself. That's fine.
No, I think it's fair though. Like the rate that Insomniac is putting out games, like that they put out two in the launch window of the PS5. So like it's not way out there to think. I think if we do see anything from Spider-Man 2, it's just a logo.
And even like if you the jump from Miles Morales to Ratchet and Clank, seeing a Spider-Man game specifically designed for the PS5 and the PS5 only
Yeah.
is going to look incredible.
Yeah, I definitely think we're getting God of War. I want to believe that we're getting a release date, or at least a window, spring 2022, is what I would predict.
Wasn't it
Uh,
supposed to come out this year?
they said 2021, but not no. I don't think a single person believed it was coming in 2021.
Well, I mean,
Um,
March or April seems like the safe bet because this. I don't think this is going to be a full like. I think this is going to be like a Miles Morales. I don't think this is going to be a an epic. You know,
I think it's going to be a full sequel. I don't know. My wild card, I think, is going to be Metal Gear Solid 1 remake. Um, I think Sony's going to announce that they have bought Blue Point, and I think they're going to after announcing that they're joining the PlayStation Studios. I think they're going to announce that that's what they're working on right now. They're not going to have much to show. Probably just like a little teaser, or something where like it's going like Snake going. I don't know, like a reveal of it ends up being Snake, like whatever. But um, and that probably is like I don't even think we get. Maybe 2023. It's a date for it. Like that's all we'll get. But um,
You have to think, are they going to have a 2023 release window? Are they even going to tease that if they don't know consoles are going to be like when they're going to be widely available?
I don't think they're gonna do it for a lot of games. I think it's because they're gonna announce that they bought Blue Point, that it's gonna be like we bought them, and then this is what we're working. This is what they're working on. This is what you have something to look for. This is what you have to look forward to with Blue Point, their next project. I don't think it's something that they're going to be like, oh, this game's coming out 2024, or in this game, because this is a
Yeah.
40 minute. It's a 40-minute showcase, and I don't think that we're going to get a lot of fluff. I hope that we don't, because I think that like when you had like Microsoft and Bethesda, it was like an hour, over an hour of stuff. So, um, yeah, I'm super hyped. Fully torqued, as our meter would say. I'm ready. So that's it for the news. No,
Shit.
the other one. Your fucking webcam went crooked too.
I kicked the desk. It's my bad.
John,
Yeah.
we finished Hellblade.
I finished Hellblade. Did you?
I finished Hellblade.
Okay.
Hellblade was our book club game for the second half of August into September. Um, I will let you start. What were your thoughts on the game?
Uh, I don't. I think as a whole, start to end, the journey you go on is really good. It hooked me in a little bit more than I thought it was going to at first. Uh, I said this past 2 weeks, I'll say it again. After the first time I tried playing it, I stopped playing with headphones on because I am not a mentally stable person. I can't do that. Uh, but I thought it was good. I didn't. Me and you were talking about this. I didn't give it a fair shake. I because the Iki Island expansion came out, because Psychonauts 2 came out, because I got other shit going on. I just didn't give this the mental space it deserved.
Yeah.
Like that being said, it was still good.
Yeah, I'll say that I enjoyed it. Um, I thought that the narrative and the audio experience, if you that's what you want to call it, I think that the narrative and that carried the game like massively. Like I think the combat was kind of mid. Um, I thought that some of the world and I played this on Xbox Series S, which was optimized, and um I had a little bit of, and obviously this has more to do with the hardware and maybe some of the optimization, but um like some like texture, like some of the stuff didn't look as nice.
I had a similar issue. Uh,
You played this on Xbox One
one,
or PC? Okay.
one. Uh, I don't know if it happened for the underworld, where like there's the burning bodies everywhere and stuff.
Yes. Yeah.
Same, yeah. That's what I expected because I mean it didn't look great.
Yeah, it was stuff that kind of like took me out of the whole experience. Where I'm like, if I noticed it, I'm like, oh, like, ugh,
Yeah,
gross. Um, Not like crazy stuff. It was impressive for, I believe the game came out in 2017 or 18. I think it was 17. Um, but the moment to moment gameplay, the puzzles were like cool for the first like two puzzles that you did, and then I was kind of over it.
every puzzle was the
Uh,
same.
but
This was Shadow of the Colossus all over again when it comes with puzzles.
yeah, but I definitely enjoy Shadow of the Colossus more.
See, I think I'm on the opposite side. I think I enjoyed this more.
Obviously the narrative here was like really cool. Obviously,
Yeah,
um, like normalizing like mental health narratives and stuff in video games is really cool. I really like the one of the parts that stuck out the most to me is her mother. Her saying that like I just people told me she escaped the darkness and like that's she thought she got out of it, but like what she is going through is genetic. Obviously, is what the
yeah.
um and I feel that as someone who like my parents both deal with mental health stuff and that I believe is was passed down to me and stuff that I deal with and stuff like that. So I that is very special to me. I think that was the one thing that they did great, was just the narrative and the overall story that they wanted to tell. But I just found myself a lot of the time, it felt like very walking simulator. The puzzles were very like okay, I get it, like we look at things differently and you'll unlock others. Like I get I get why that was important to the narrative, like having to shift your view on things and like
Yeah.
that will unlock new parts of the world and stuff for you. Um it was a short game, but I kind of wish it was even shorter. um
It's like I think I'm gonna end up replaying it. Um, at some point when there's nothing else distracting me, so I can really like fully immerse myself.
hmm. I would
But it's
rather
also
watch somebody play this than play it again. So if you want to stream
that's
it,
you know
I'll watch
fair enough.
it.
No, because then I have to have headphones on, and I
Oh,
can't do that.
facts, facts.
Yeah. Um, I thought the ending was really cool, and that plays into like the narrative, where like you you get beat down, you can't win.
Yeah,
Like you do ultimately lose, but you
right.
don't die.
You just rot.
Well,
No, that's like literally what it's called, is the rot.
yeah, yeah. You get the darkness takes over and you rot, and then at the end, she throws the head over the fucking edge. It's like, all right, time to move on.
Yep.
And then I watched the trailer, yeah, the trailer thing they released for part two right after I beat it. Made zero fucking sense. Doesn't
Yeah,
seem
right.
connected at all.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what that looks like. Um yeah, man. For me, I think it was at first I thought it was like the right game at the wrong time, but I do think that at any point in time after 3-ish hours I'd be like, I get it. Like I understand the story they're trying to tell and stuff like that. But I do think for a smaller studio, um, given what they probably had to work with, I think it was very impressive. And now that they were bought by Microsoft, probably given a little bit more funds, I think that this next one could be. I think this is the first game is a great groundwork, and I think they can add a lot more to this in the second game, and that's why I think that it's still taking a long time because I think that they are going to elaborate on a lot of this stuff, which makes me excited for the second one.
Let's in the good old YouTube comment section of the second like trailer for the second one. Someone said game one was his uh Sanua trapped in a room with the darkness, and the second one is the darkness trapped in a room with her.
That's good. Because that when I first saw that at the Game Awards in 2019, I believe.
I thought it
Um,
was 2020. I thought it like just dropped
no,
recently.
because it was shown when the Xbox Series X was announced.
Oh,
Um, Shit looked crazy. But
yeah,
yeah, I'm excited to see what the second one brought, and I kind of. I like obviously like Psychonauts way more than I like this game. But I had the same feeling where it's like I um like am excited to see what part two is,
yeah.
and they're both coming soon.
Dude,
Um,
I've heard so much about Ragnarok in the past like 3 or 4 years. It's just been so much.
it's crazy because this game came out in 2017, and then God of War came out the
And
next
then
year.
fucking Valhalla came out. Assassin's Creed Valhalla came out the year after
Yeah,
that. And you have Horizon thrown in where it's another fucking girl who's a redhead, dresses the same, going through shit.
fucking
It's like
girls.
fucking A. Girls don't belong in games.
Um, but yeah, so give it a rating out of 10.
I'm gonna say 7.2.
I'm gonna 6.5. So
Okay. I think that's our
um,
closest yet.
yeah, I forgot what I gave Shadow of the Colossus. Was it a 7.0 or 7.5? Um,
I don't remember my own name. I
okay.
don't ask me.
Doodoo Daddy in the chat says, "You guys gonna check out Deathloop?" Yes, 100%.
Oh yeah. Oh
Um,
yeah.
Unfortunately, it comes out when I'm on vacation. But when I get back from vacation, I am so fucking excited to try that game. And that game, Doodoo Daddy, is on PC and PS5, which is really
It's
sick.
next week, right?
Yes, I think it has a weird. I don't think it's Friday. I
Wednesday.
think it's Wednesday or Tuesday or Wednesday. It's weird release date, but dude, hell yeah, I am excited to play that.
Yeah.
It almost feels like a Dishonored sequel. With like a new. I don't know. I'm
So
definitely in.
actually, I'm gonna announce this now and just sort of cut you off for the next topic. Next week, while John's on vacation, because we can't do a podcast, I will be live streaming. Um, it's probably gonna be Psychonauts 2, but if not, because it might be Wednesday, and I gotta finish some games before I can add any more to my consoles. But if not, it'll be Deathloop. It's gonna be one of the two. Probably next Wednesday or Thursday around 7:30 ish. If you guys want to come hang out.
And make sure you follow the Twitter, um, to
Yeah.
see for sure where that is. Um, Yeah. So other Duty Daddy says will be there. So that's what's up.
Let's
Appreciate
go.
that. Other than Hellblade, what other games have you played this week, John?
I've played Hellblade.
Oh, really? That's it. Okay.
I played a couple rounds of Apex, but I have not played a fucking single game.
Hmm.
This has been the
I
first week in a while where I haven't.
I played the fuck out of Psychonauts 2. I beat the game. I'm not gonna go and spoil anything, but I will say that it is going to be in serious consideration for my game of the year. I absolutely loved it. It was fucking phenomenal, and I'm sure the week that I get back, the following week, we'll be talking about it a little bit more. Um, but if you guys have not played Psychonauts 2, you don't have to play Psychonauts 1. They give a kind of an opening video explaining what happened in the first game. And also, there was a VR game between 1 and 2 that I didn't know about, but it's called like the Rhombus of Ruin or something. They fill you in. This game is so fucking good, and it's another game where mental health is obviously the main narrative, and exploring different things like that. So um, it's if it's on every platform. It's on Game Pass, PC, Xbox. It's $60 on PlayStation. If you don't want to pay $60 for PlayStation, you can get a Game Pass trial and play it on the cloud. Whatever way you can play it, play it. It's so good. You won't regret it. Now, for our topic of the show, it'll be probably a quick little discussion here, but earlier in the week, at the Master Bucks, Jake Buckley, verified, never heard of him before this, saw a viral tweet. It says, "What is
Handing out blue
your
check marks to everybody, eh?
what was your video game console pathway?" He started his was PS1, PS2, Xbox 360, Xbox One, PS5. So we just wanted to have a little discussion.
So,
In the chat, let us know what your console pathway was. And John, what was your console pathway?
well, I'm not ignoring you. I actually quote tweeted that on the John Squared Gaming account. So I'm looking up my answer so I don't say two different things. Um,
You mean you lying, bro?
what the fuck are all these memes you're retweeting? I don't check this enough. um, so for actual consoles, I went from PS1 to PS2, obviously, to 360, to PS4 and Xbox One, and then now to PS5. And then I took the next step, which Jake Buckley did not uh, did not ask for, which is I went with handheld consoles.
Mm.
So I went Game Boy Color to Game Boy Micro to Nintendo DS to 2DS to Switch. I'm counting Switch as a handheld because I don't really play it docked.
That's fair. Yeah. So yours was PS1 to PS2.
Yes.
My question is so PS1 had the competition was N64. So what games have you played since then on N64 that you wish you had played when you were younger?
None. I've never played. I've never played an N64.
I mean, you played Mario 64.
Fuck that game, dude. That game stinks.
Okay, PS2, obviously.
Oh, that's what you're trying to get out of me, you piece of shit.
No,
You knew you could fire me up?
the counterpart for the PS2 was obviously the GameCube and the original Xbox. Have you played any game on those other platforms that you had wished you had played when you were younger?
Probably Halo. I mean,
Obviously,
that's it. I don't. Maybe Pokemon Coliseum.
Hmm.
That was on GameCube, right?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. Maybe those. Otherwise, I'm good. I tried like Banjo Kazooie because I knew that was
That was
pretty big.
N64.
I thought it was on Xbox.
It was N64, and then when Rare was purchased by Xbox, then they had Banjo on 360.
Yeah, no, that game stunk too. If I'm being honest,
That's one of my wife's favorite games. So, but
I
not the
wasn't a fan of
360
it.
one, the N64 one.
I played the 360 one.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't. You and I have a similar thing with old games.
Yeah.
Who needs them? The only
Yeah.
game that really survives the test of time is the Shrek movie game for the first Shrek movie on PS1.
So Xbox 360 counterpart PS3. What games? This I feel like is where we start to really recognize the things that we missed out on.
I think all of the Uncharted games, right? Just about, except for A Thief's End.
Yep.
I wish I played those when they first came out. The Tomb Raider games, I think I would have gotten more into those on PS3. I can't think of much else. The Uncharted they were big. Maybe like the God of War franchise came out through there too, right?
It came out on PS2, but
PS2.
God of War 3 was on PS3.
So on handheld, I forgot PSP, where I did play Chains of Olympus, which is a pretty good game.
Then obviously you played all for the next couple generations. So
yeah,
my pathway was I counted NES because that was the first memory of any video game that I ever had playing Super Mario Bros. 1 and 3 with my parents. That was the first memory I've had of gaming. Then from that, it was PlayStation 1. And obviously the NES was out way before I was born, but that was the first console that we owned. Then I had PlayStation 1, then PlayStation 2. I did at one point own an original Xbox. It was like way I think it was like way late.
Yeah.
And I did own a GameCube. Um but this was like I remember paying $30 for my GameCube at GameStop. Like that's how late. Like the Wii was already a thing. It was way later. I bought the GameCube. Like for literally $30 at GameStop.
I
Uh,
uh, I, f- I
Go
have a
ahead.
Wii downstairs that I completely forgot about. It's just genuinely in my TV stand.
Yeah, I remember you sent a picture like when you were in your apartment, and I saw the
Yeah,
Wii. I was like, what?
it's like two
Uh,
years ago.
so God, fuck. That's it feels like it was like 6 months ago. So from that generation, it was straight up Xbox 360, then PlayStation 4, then PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X. Um, in terms of games for Xbox that I played later, Xbox One that I played later, Ori in the Blind Forest and Will of the Wisp. Outside of Halo, I would say those are by far my favorite Xbox games. God, those are so fucking good. Those are another games where if you haven't played, you should definitely check them out. They're on Nintendo Switch as well, obviously on Game Pass. But yeah,
Actually, the first Ori is fucking incredible.
yeah, really. The for handhelds, it was Game Boy Advance, um, DS, then nothing until my PSP, and then since then I owned a 3DS for about 6 months and then got rid of it. So
Oh, you got
uh,
rid of it?
I didn't touch it. I just I was talking about this recently with a coworker. I hate playing on like small screens. Like I hate playing on my phone. I hate playing Switch handheld. I hate it. I even like playing PC games on like my like 27-inch monitor. I hate. I just like would rather be on my TV. Like I would rather be on my. I see, I see you do it, and then I look over at Twitch and I have this up and it's the replay, so I see you do this twice. um, we got Doodoo Daddy. He is Sega Genesis, Game Boy Color, PlayStation 1/N64, PS2 GameCube, PS3, and PC ever since. And then he said he bought a Switch last year. Every fucking person owns a Switch, it feels
Switch.
like.
I mean, and the thing is, here we go. Uh, the Switch, if they came out with a new version like 2 years ago,
Yeah,
would have been good. Would have been so good. I probably would still play it. Um, PC, I did just I like gaming on this. I haven't tried like a ton of games,
yeah.
but I really enjoy it.
It's different too. Like it
Yeah.
is noticeably for someone playing on consoles my entire life, my first experience playing uh any game on PC where you just like have all of these options and then also playing at like way higher frame rates and stuff, like genuinely blew my mind. And obviously the PS5 and this generation, like I played Psychonauts 2 at 120 frames per second on my TV downstairs because my panel on my TV has um 120 hertz refresh rate, which like that's kind of more common. It's becoming more and more common with um like it feels like gaming consoles in general are like moving closer to where PCs are, even though like RTX 3090 just shits on
Oh
either
yeah.
consoles. But it's cool to see that like closing the gap, closing for people who listened last week. Um, yeah, it's just cool to see it getting a little bit more common to play games at higher refresh rates. Really sick. We had Steve O Spaghettio, which I believe was Cringe McEat Pants earlier, said hit me. So um, so Steve-O Spaghettio is my brother-in-law, my wife's
This
brother.
man changed it like a wardrobe change mid podcast. He showed up again.
They had they were like a Nintendo family. So his was SNES, Nintendo 64, GameCube, Wii, then Xbox 360. That's when me and the boy uh, countless hours on Halo 3 and 4. Wii U, PS4, Wii U. we forget we didn't even mention that was a thing. Wii U, PS4, Switch, and PS5. To me, the correct way to go was PS1, PS2, Xbox 360, PS4, PS5. Missing out on Uncharted sucked, obviously, but getting like we got the Uncharted games on PS4, and then Last of Us obviously was just ported right to they was remastered on PS4. Um, so I feel like I didn't miss out on that much, and that like everyone owned the 360, and
Yeah.
like that, like if you wanted to play with anybody, you had like literally I had one friend at school at a PS3, and no, he didn't play any games with anyone because no one else had one.
This is gonna sound fucking sad then compared to that. I had an Xbox 360 and still didn't play with anyone. I played by myself. I played genuinely.
F in the chat.
This is here we go. When I was, oh, what Black Ops game was it? Black Ops 2 maybe? What was on 360? What was the new one on 360?
It was
Was it Modern Warfare 2?
Modern Warfare, Modern Warfare 2, World War 2 or World at War, and then the first two Black Ops games.
So I think it was Modern Warfare 2 and Black Ops 2. I filled lobbies with bots, turned the difficulty all the way up, and played deathmatch because I didn't have Xbox Live.
Bro was drop shotting against bots.
Dude, I felt so good. I was fucking smoking. It was like 100 to 15, just wrecking them. And I was like, dude, I think I'm good at this game. Now as an adult, I'm like, nah, it's just fucking lonely.
Doo Daddy said, yeah, PC blew my mind when I switched back in like 2011/12. Only thing that hasn't been as great is there are a lot more crashing and messing around with drivers to get a game to work. PS5's being able to hit 120 FPS is super tempting though. Yeah. I played Black Ops Cold War at 120 frames per second on PS5. It's 4K too, which is like the equivalent of 4K 120 frames per second on a graphics card. Obviously like the textures and stuff were like turned down, but it's pretty impressive. It's like probably equivalent to like a 2080 Ti maybe, or it's impressive for a $500 console.
If the day ever came where you wanted to buy a console, I definitely would recommend PS5 over Xbox, especially if you have a strong PC. You can just get Game Pass for PC. PS5 is definitely, I think, worth the money. It will be even more worth it when more games come out for it.
Yeah. Then Dynaco84 said, hi, friend. Just in case you haven't heard it lately, you are a king, a wonderful being, truly amazing, a gift unto the world by being you. Thank you for existing and spreading hope and compassion to Earth. I love you, friend. Appreciate that.
I mean, thanks. I think we're the opposite of all of what you said, but thank you.
Yeah, I tend to agree with John. But yeah, dude. Sick. Thank you. Appreciate that. That feels like a really positive note to end on.
Yeah. Maybe we just shit talk each other and then end it.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll call it there for the night. We've been going for a little bit. So this will be up as usual on the YouTube channel, Friday at 8 a.m. and obviously podcast services wherever you listen to podcasts. Shout out to everyone who came out for the first ever live version of this.
Shout out.
We really appreciate you guys. Love you guys. And like I said earlier, the number one way to support us right now is to like and sub to the YouTube, or leave a review on the podcast service of your choosing. We really appreciate you guys, and we are just, looking forward to growing. Make sure to I think we're going to be back on Twitch tomorrow for the PlayStation Showcase. Just tune into the socials. That's John Squared Gaming Show on Twitter at John Squared Pod. For like we'll officially announce what we're doing tomorrow. But yeah, come watch that with us. I think we're allowed to. We're gonna do it anyways. Maybe get strike down and copyright whatever, but who cares? We're gonna do it. So yeah, come hang out with us tomorrow. It's gonna be super hype. I'm so fucking excited. Love you guys. I missed you, Doodoo Daddy, by the way. Until next time, stay horny and stay hydrated.